This podcast is brought to you by The Healthy Hub.
Hello, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Just to Kick It is a Blessing podcast with your host, Keith Tupac Gatiramu. Thank you for coming in again another week to just vibe with me and listen to what my guest has to say for today. So without further ado, I will let her introduce herself.
Hello, everybody. My name is Roya Mukari Okanga. I am 23 years old. I've just graduated uni. I studied HR for my undergrad and advertising and marketing for my master's. And I own a business called Kari's Kitchen. Kari comes from Mukari. And yeah.
Wow. That's very impressive. So, to tell you guys what we're here to talk about today is just business, and it's amazing to see such a young lady like you in business. So, tell us a bit about what Kari's Kitchen does.
So, Kari's Kitchen is a food delivery cloud kitchen business. And I've added catering recently.
Yeah.
So basically, you order food from me on whatever days of the week I've advertised to sell and distribute. And there's different menus every month with something different, also so that I can show off a bit. And I added catering sometime earlier this year. And so I've been doing catering for minimum 2 people, like something private for you and your friend, but maximum 40 people. So like a birthday party or a celebration, a gathering, things like that.
Yeah. And when did Kari's Kitchen start?
So it started in around 2017 while I was still in uni in the UK.
Yeah.
So I went, for both my degrees in the UK. And just cooking in uni, like first of all, everyone knows uni meals are struggle meals, so not everybody used to eat as nicely. So I was always that person who'd be like, hey, look at what I'm eating, like you guys are not eating as good as me. So I started doing that, just posting on Snapchat, and then I was like, okay, people are really responding, why don't I take this seriously? And I opened an Instagram, Twitter, all that, YouTube, and I just started posting content. And because I had a lot of free time while I was in uni, like I used to have like classes on 2 days of the week, so the rest of the week had nothing to do. So I decided it's a perfect time to create content. And then once I graduated and came back, then I started actually selling the food, because before that it was just you see what you see. You just see, eat with your eyes. So then once I came back.
Why didn't you ever think about selling in the UK, especially if you're making local food?
First of all, I didn't really enjoy my first 3 years there. So this was what would keep me busy, and I didn't really want to interact with a lot of people. So selling food while I was there would mean that I would have to interact with them. But as I did my master's, I really enjoyed my experience. And I didn't sell the food, but I was making food for everyone. So before the turn up, everyone would come to my house and be like, let's eat Nini Foundation. So that's even how people started to know about it, because guys would post on Snap and be like, hey, Roya's cooking for us today. Where are you?
I've seen you on Snap cooking for people, to be honest. Like, I think that's where I actually first saw you on Snap. I'm like, who's this cooking for everyone in the UK?
I just what used to happen, I would buy food, cook food, and also home meals, because you're abroad, you don't really, you've been taken care of at home your whole life, you don't really cook like that, so you're in a different country, you want a taste of home. So I used to try to cook a lot of Kenyan dishes, sort of, and then people loved it. They really loved it, and that's how I started. So for those guys, it was free. And I told them, once we come out of here, you're going to pay for everything.
So you've told us the story behind why you started your business, but what really motivated you to start your business?
I think it's just innate. Like, those things, like this is supposed to be what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
So it's just a passion. It's from within. Like, I just want to cook. I want to cook for other people. I want to cook for myself, my family.
Yeah.
It's just, I love cooking and I want to cook. So it's passion, really, more than anything.
Wow. So, have you ever like gone to cooking school or anything, or it's just something you've learned from the comfort of your house?
It's just learning at home. And like I said, in uni, pushing myself, creating content. I'm like, okay, I have to learn how to do this.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it now for the video or for something.
Yeah.
But I've never gone to culinary school. Like I said, my first degree was HR. My second one was marketing. So there's no school experience, although I'm heavily considering it now.
Yeah,
because I want more and more knowledge, and eventually I want to open my own restaurant. So I feel like that's a step I need to take.
No, but I think the fact that you've done now HR,
True.
Actually any business related course, going into business is actually quite. And that brings me to my next question. What were the 3 most important factors you considered while starting your business?
So, especially because it's about food, the biggest thing for me was customer service. Anytime anyone goes to a restaurant or an area for food, you always hear people complaining about, oh, the service was horrible, these guys did this and that. So customer service was my number one thing. And I try as much as possible to make sure that customers are getting what they want, what they like. You pick up the phone, you're nice to them, no matter what. You update them every step of the way, from the moment they order to the moment they get their food. So customer service was important. The other thing I would say would be quality of flavor.
Yeah.
Of flavors, yeah. So I can't sell to you nonsense.
Yeah.
Even for me, that's just my reputation. It hurts me.
Yeah.
So I have to make sure there's quality. And in fact, that's why when I do the catering, I just do up to 40 people, because I believe if I expand too much, I start losing the things people actually love about my food. I think, what else? Marketing, actually.
Yeah.
Very important. And especially since I studied it, to get people to know more about you, to like you, to even market for you without you asking them to. Yeah, that's very important.
Word of mouth, yeah.
Yeah, word of mouth. Like, or they'll make sure they tell you or tell their friends, whoever that people love the product. So marketing was also very important.
Before I get to my other question, I wanted to actually find out, you see, how do you keep the food actually warm from the time you deliver it?
So of course, first of all, it's to do with the containers.
Yeah.
It's also to do with freshness. Like, you call, immediately the food is ready.
Yeah.
The rider should already be there.
Yeah.
So immediately it comes out of the fire to the container, it's out and on its way to you. And I try to get the food to you within 30 minutes of me cooking. So it's a 1-hour delivery system. So you order, I cook within 30 minutes, then the other 30 minutes are for delivery. So that ensures, and then also the bag used, insulated bags, to make sure, like, this food is not reaching cold. However, of course, sometimes it happens.
Yeah.
People get their food cold,
Yeah.
Depending on what issues may have come up during the journey. Maybe it took longer than expected. But I've heard that my food is still nice when it's warmed in the microwave. Yeah. So, I mean, I try as much as possible to get it to you warm.
Yeah. No, but it's hard, especially with Kenya and traffic and not knowing what's been closed.
Exactly.
And everything. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And, that brings me to my next question. What hardships did you encounter while starting the business?
Actually, in relation to that is border borders.
Yeah.
You cannot begin to imagine
Yeah.
the type of mess border riders can cause to your business.
Yeah.
And especially because of my commitment to that 1-hour delivery, it makes it very difficult to deal with the riders.
Yeah.
Because a guy can decide he's going off to do his own business.
Yeah.
Like, he has the food and he's gone to pick something else and take it on the way, or the time he just takes long unnecessarily, uses the wrong route. Like he'll go farther around just to make more money. So bodas have been very challenging, to say the least. And it's not easy.
No.
Because that's one of the main components of this business. So you have to get the food to somebody, and of course I can't deliver it myself. You can have like 5 orders at the same time. How are you going to do it? So that's been very tricky. I'm still trying to find a solution that can really work without problems, because at least once a week I have a headache. At least once a week. So that's one of the biggest challenges.
Maybe you could actually partner with like a company for logistics, or but I get the border guys things, because even hard. Me the other day I saw jam like this when I was leaving the office, and I told the guy, bro, sinipeleke hapa State House. He's like 20 haraka,
because he has to do something else.
But then that time when he's there, he's answering his phone on the border, and he's like, we ngoja kwanza, niko hapa kuna jam, police wameblock. But at that time we're going the opposite direction, and I could see he had a package to deliver. And then he's telling me, unajua kitu boss, kama pesa imeingia kwa mfuko usiitupe, kana hiyo pesa tengeneze ingine.
But that just tells you how bad the economy is, first of all. But to answer the partnering with a company, it's also not very easy, because yes, everybody's starting up, everyone is trying to do their own thing, but with, for example, an app like Uber or Bolt, you can track. It's seamless. The guy is going to be here in 5 minutes, so I'll pack the food at this time and it will be ready to go. He's on the way. If he stops, I can see him. Tracking is a very big thing, because a customer can call you and be like, yo, where's my food? And I have to be like, okay, the guy is on Langata Road or something. He'll be there with you in 5 minutes. But using startup rider companies,
it's hard.
Very difficult. Like you're saying, they go to do other things, and you don't know. They go do their own things, and someone's food is waiting, and then you see it's now my fault. Because I'm not. Nobody cares. I'm not going to tell them, oh, I'm using this company. Maybe you should ask them. I'm not going to tell. Like I said, customer service number 1. So it becomes my fault. I have to fix it. I end up having to give discounts or more food or so. So it's really a headache.
And that brings me actually to my next question. Like, what's the craziest thing that has happened to you between your company and the Border Rider?
There's one time, oh gosh, and I was trying to make such a good impression, because this is somebody who could help my business. So I was like, you've ordered. The guy even paid before I had even started cooking. So I'm like, okay, it has to be perfect. So I called the rider. Like you said, external company. I called the rider. And he comes, everything is fine. I'm like, okay, peleka yaraka. Like, even if it's there in 10 minutes, I need it there. So the guy picks and he's like, sawa, kuna shida madam, naenda. He goes. The next thing, the person who ordered the food is calling me like, yo, you said 30 minutes. Where's the food? And of course, I had sent a message saying your rider is on the way. So I'm like, what do you mean? He's not there. And he's like, nah, this guy is not here. I'm like, okay, let me call. But let me also send you his number, you call. Because you have to, you really have to understand these problems. So I call the guy, mteja. I'm like, oh my God. What am I going to do? Like, should I make more food? I enter the car, I go take to him, but there's traffic. This is Nairobi. The guy is far. So I'm like, okay, let me try the other number. I call the company, ask for the other number. I call, you can just hear wind. So I'm like, ukonjiani? He's like, niko hapa nafika. So I'm like, sir, I send the guy a message. He's just on your road. 20 minutes pass again. He's like, it's lunch hour. Like, I have to eat by 2 p.m. I need my food. I'm like, what do you mean he hasn't reached? So I'm like, okay, let me call again. Mteja, both phones. I think, you just have to. You feel like throwing up. You feel like going to the bathroom. But So I call, you can't find him. I call the company because I have trackers on the bikes. I'm like, where is this guy? Yeah, he's at the road. So I'm like, then why is he not giving the food?
Yeah.
So the guy calls me back. He's like, this guy abusing the rider. This guy is stupid, nini.
Yeah.
It's a nonsense. I've told him this building, he's going to the wrong side. He's literally 10 minutes away from me, but he's not coming.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, what do? I wait. I actually got into the car and now started following. So I'm like, I call the company. I'm like, he's where? Tell me, I be there.
Yeah.
I go, I'm waiting for him. I even call him. Now you see when Safaricom sends that message, the guy is back online.
Yeah.
So I call again. He's like, nampatia tu sahi. It took another 40 minutes.
What?
And this is somebody who can help me. I'm trying to make a good impression.
Yeah.
It was so bad. I had to make the guy more food another day. Of course, he told me, riders, nini, sort yourself out. Like, of course, it was a mess. And mind you, that guy had gone with 2 deliveries. So for this guy and for somebody else. So as this guy is calling me, somebody else is also calling me. Because it's in the same direction.
Yeah.
So, chukua mbili wende. So now I'm chasing him. Give me the other package also.
Yeah.
May I go deliver it myself because it's too much. So anyway, in the end, I couldn't even locate him for another 1 hour. Wow. The other person obviously was so upset. I just told them, you pay 50%. It's okay. I understand. I've caused you grievances because you ordered food at 1. You're getting it at 4.
Yeah.
It's unfair. So yeah, that's just a few of the things that can happen, but it happens all the time that they go somewhere else, they do something else, they switch off the phone, they lie.
For sure.
They're natural.
Because Kenyans are saying 5 minutes away. You know how we are? Kenyans are saying I'm 5 minutes away.
That's why I would rather the app. Because if you tell me 5 minutes and I see it says 10, I call you and tell you you're lying. Do something.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one of very stressful.
And have you ever had issues for when the food is actually sent, but like on the way, like it spills or something?
There's a guy. There's a guy who it was a order for Kiambu Road.
Yeah.
And the guy sent him with like 4 milkshakes and some food. By the time he reached, the bag was torn, things had poured. The customer is calling me like, what's wrong with you guys? How can I pay for food and it looks like this? So like, I'm telling you, there have been hardships. And this is far, so even if I want to fix it myself,
you can't.
I can't. And that's my natural reaction. I'm like, okay, I'll fix it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
But it's just impossible. Yeah. The food has arrived badly. I'm like, okay, send pictures. And you have to call the company and be like, I'm not paying. You're giving me credit. This food was worth 3,000.
Yeah.
I'm doing rides worth 3,000 because I've lost a customer there. They're wondering what's going on. The rider has lied about where he's been. The package has come torn. I mean, you can't trust it. You'll be like, hey, this guy has eaten or put something. Yeah.
And actually...
So, you can't trust those guys.
And actually, talking of eating, have you ever had a situation where the guy actually munches the food?
No.
Really?
No, thankfully. Ooh, please, God. No.
Yeah?
I haven't. Nobody has ever reported that the food has been eaten on the way.
Yeah.
But spilling, it happened once and annoying.
I just remember that because even the other day, one of my friends sent me a snap. He had ordered food from Java. And by the time the guy had opened the thing like this, that thing, everything. And he had ordered, I think, some Kari or something.
Gosh.
So the whole thing had spilled. The bag, now that silver part for the insulation was just all red. So I was like, there's that whole process, there's like so much that must go into it. And
yeah, it's hard work. You have to understand from the minute, like if it's a burger, from buying mincemeat to making sure you enjoy the food, there's so much that goes on in between. You can't even begin to imagine.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And now you've said that about like deliveries. In regards to catering, have you ever had any hardships?
Yeah. I remember one of the first gigs.
Yeah.
There was a shortage. Yes, there was a shortage of potatoes because of rally. And the rally was happening and there was traffic in Naivasha. My supplier for chips, because I don't peel the potatoes myself and cut.
That's a lot of work.
It's tedious. So there's a company that does that at a friendly cost.
Wow.
So that supplier, their chips were stuck in that traffic. And I'm here at an event.
Yeah.
He's telling me in the morning, like, the event is happening at midday. I'm being told at 10. The potatoes are not coming. And that's one of the main dishes of the event.
Yeah.
So it was very difficult. Actually, I think I took Spaso's chips because we order from the same person.
Yeah.
I had to take chips from somebody else because it was too much. You can't peel 20 kgs of chips in 2 hours. You don't even know how to
peel a potato.
You can't do it. Yeah. So those are some of the things. Or just a difficult client. Like, oh no, we want this. Okay, fine, do it. No, don't do it. Do this, do that. So, I mean, it's human nature, but yeah, when you're in this business, planning is everything.
Yeah.
So you have to plan way ahead of time. It's not that you'll tell me, like I said, 20 kgs and I bring it immediately. You need to talk to people, do things, prepare, cost, everything. So when a client is very wishy-washy about how they're dealing with it, it really brings a lot of stress. Yeah.
Wow. And how's the whole vending experience? I usually look at vendors and they say, you are strong, you're tough.
Hey, I think I still have trauma.
Yeah.
I still have trauma. Honestly, not good.
Yeah.
0 out of 10 would not recommend.
Yeah.
It was very hard. Very painful, actually.
Yeah.
Not the easiest thing to do, and especially when you're excited about it. Like if you're excited about something and then you just and it's so sudden. Yeah, vending, not too much. And then, of course, events have been happening over this whole year.
Yeah.
But very tricky because even ones that I sign up to get cancelled by the government. So it's not easy. And like I said, because you prepare beforehand, It's not like a vendor for alcohol is very easy because you just order stock. And usually if you don't use the stock, you can return it.
Yeah, you can return.
It can be resold easily. It doesn't expire, things like that. But food, you need 1 week, 2 weeks to prepare, get everything in order.
Yeah.
So when an event is cancelled, it's very painful. In fact, I avoid events.
Yeah.
I really avoid them.
Yeah, tell us about your story with our 4 famous superstars. We're not going to mention any names, but
your faves.
Yeah.
Those 4 men.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I mean, you guys can know what we're talking about, but unfortunately, the event was cancelled in bad faith, in bad taste, and
it was actually they cancelled it on the day. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you are lucky enough to be on the ground the day before, we sort of had an idea. And that's actually when I found out that the event was being cancelled. But this was at like 10 p.m. and curfew was at 11.
Yeah.
So you're finding out and you're panicking and everything. Of course, there's vendors who didn't know. I was just lucky that I was going there to drop things. And I find out like, there's so many things going on. But there's vendors who actually came to the event ready. Their food, their things, barbecues and everything, because they thought it's still going on.
Yeah.
Until, of course, those guys decided to put out a press release and were like, yeah, COVID, Nini, we're not performing, but we knew the truth.
Yeah.
We knew the truth. So, it was really unfortunate, but the things that happened after were really nice. For example, people really bought food. Like I managed to sell everything I was supposed to sell at the event just because of Kenyans on Twitter.
Yeah, but I saw that. And wow, congratulations, man.
Yeah, so that was really, really helpful. I can not even begin to say how grateful I am.
Yeah.
Because that was a godsend, like life-saving stuff. And then after that, of course, because people now know who you are, know what you do, then every time I'd put out a menu, I have hella customers. Yes. So it was bad, but yeah.
To be honest for you, I think it was actually a blessing in disguise,
For sure.
Yeah, and just for the audience, just tell them how much a bottle of food you had bought and were about to lose from such a deal. So just to show people that business can be tough sometimes.
Business is tough.
Yeah.
I had bought food and stuff surrounding food like gas, equipment, pots and pans, things like that, worth 300,000 shillings, of which was a loan. It was a very big loan for me. I mean, I've just come out of uni.
Yeah.
I'm starting. I don't have money, and I borrowed 300,000, and I'm like, I'm going to make it back. You don't even worry. You know, the event is here. Like, I'm not lying.
Yeah.
The event is on Saturday. Kwanza Saturday itself. By 3 p.m., I'll send you your 300,000 back.
Yeah.
So taking the loan, in hindsight, I mean, I needed it, but it was very painful. So 300,000. Food in events is very nice because I was projected to make over $1 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe like 1.5, 2 million.
Jeez. There's some odd
My first milli.
Yeah.
and, and it never worked out, of course. Instead of making 2 mil, I made 300,000 losses. So, to say the least, this is not for the faint of heart.
Yeah.
It's really, you have to be strong going into
business.
Any business. It's not just food. Anything can fail or go wrong. Yeah. So, you have to be strong. You actually have to.
And now that you've bought the part about being strong and everything, is there days you felt like quitting? And if so, what motivates you or what pushes you not to quit?
Yes, of course. We all have those days, mental breakdowns and all of that. I've felt like quitting a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe even once a week.
If you're Buddha guys.
Yeah. You're like, what's this now?
Yeah.
So, but seriously, quitting, yes, I've felt that. So the thing that motivates me is I know what my goal is. I know what the vision is. I know what I want this to turn into, and I'm not ready to let go of that idea.
Yeah.
Like, this can be something really big for me, something I'm really proud of. So I can't let go of the fact just because I'm feeling sad today. Like, yeah, I'll be sad, and then tomorrow we get back on the grind. So, also my mom really helps me.
Yeah.
She prays for me. Hey, you have to pray. These things you have to pray. You can't do it alone. So, the motivation is there. You just have to find it within yourself.
I keep joking with one of my friends that anyway, it's our mother's prayers that actually keep us.
Sure. If you see Nairobi,
Now, like we actually keep joking a lot about it. We're like, the prayer your mom said today.
Your mom, your grandma,
it's held it down for you.
I'm telling you.
Because even for me, like I do a couple business, and I know it's really, really, really hard. And that's why I wanted to actually. So is that why you don't cook every day, or is it because of time frame, or what's the whole idea about it or rationale about it?
So, yeah, it's hard. And also it can be demotivating sometimes when you don't get orders.
Yeah.
So because of that stress, I chose to do the best days of the week.
Yeah.
So Thursday to Sunday is when the orders are many. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you can get one, or you get like 3, and you're like, what the hell am I doing?
Yeah.
Like, is this what I want to do with my life? I get 3 orders, I go to bar next door and call it a day. Like, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah.
So Thursday to Sunday are better. So you can get like 15 orders a day, 20 orders a day. So that's why I chose, so that I don't have that stress or me putting myself down, like, this is not a good day. Let me just,
Because like me, I usually look at entrepreneurs and I say, wow.
I'm telling you.
It's tough.
It's not easy.
Especially because you're running yours by yourself, At least for me, in at least some of the things I do, I have partners, So I'm able to talk to someone. But like for you, who do you have that person that you can talk to lighten up your mood or something?
My mom.
Yeah.
But me doing it by myself is very intentional.
Yeah.
Just because I wanted to really get it right in the first place. And I trust myself 100%. It's also not easy trusting somebody with something of yours. So instead of having that friction with someone else, and this is my idea, I know what direction I want to take it into, I chose to just do it by myself. So I know these are the ingredients I want to use. Someone is not giving me noise about, instead of black pepper, use white pepper. So it's very intentional, but now that I know everything to do with the business, what it takes, how certain things should be done, I'm more willing to hire people, and I think I'll be doing that soon. Cool. Just to also expand operations, then I can market more aggressively, do things like that, and at least now I'll have a team to support the cooking.
But then, now it also brings me to how, you see, with teams, it's very, first of all, you have to have the right team.
Exactly.
I mean, that's one thing I've realized from the business that I run, and even from just growing up, like in an entrepreneurship household, like the importance of, having the right team. So how will you, like, ensure that, it's the right team? Because especially, with food and, quality and consistency, because even the other day I had a conversation with my dad, and it's like, why you always go to KFC is because you'll get the same thing each and every time. It's not today your sticky wings is tasting stickier, or you get.
That's true. So everything I do is intentional. So even with starting the catering, it was to suss out who can I work with.
Wow.
So everything I do has a reason behind it. I sit down, think, and I'm like, okay, how do we figure this out? So because I was thinking about expanding, or even just so that I don't have to be the one. Because if I'm not working, then the business is not doing anything today.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So if I'm not there, nothing happens.
Like today I've stolen 15 of your clients.
Exactly.
I'm so sorry.
So getting into the catering, now I know who can I work with, who can I call, what are their price rates, so that I also even plan myself, like what sort of salary am I giving this person? How will they keep working with me? Things like that. So it's not easy to trust, because it's like a baby.
Yeah, like your baby.
It's like a baby. It's not easy to trust somebody else, but I'm getting there slowly. And just even working with someone while you're still in control, and they watch, okay, she works like this, she wants me to do this, she does this like this, so I know, okay, he understands, let him do the work. So
And you've talked about being an entrepreneur in general and everything, and I just wanted to find out, how's it being a woman entrepreneur?
It's not easy. I'll say some of the challenges you face as a woman in business, would be, first of all, funding. Access to capital, access to money. It's not easy. I've tried to go to banks, get loans, to start things, but the processes are so tedious. And even SME funding options, youth fund, those sorts of things. But first of all, they don't give you enough, or they make you run in circles for it. So access to money, which will help me make more money and give you back your money with interest. It's not easy. Another thing is, I don't want to put it so bluntly, but lack of respect. Like even to do the boda guys, they sometimes, or some of the people that do those funny things, do it because I'm a woman. They're not going to listen to me. But if I send like my bro to give the guy the food and he's dealing with him, nothing has gone wrong. Nothing has ever gone wrong. These things only go wrong when I'm the one telling the guy what to do, and he feels like, this is a woman, why should I listen? Or something like that, I don't know. So sometimes it's just lack of respect in that sense. And then, what else can I say? Maybe just, not for myself, but I would imagine like personal and work-life balance. For women, like, if, for example, if you have a kid, it's not child's play. So It's not even me as I am right now. Like, you want to go to the trap,
Yeah.
but there are orders to be done, so you can't really leave work.
Yeah.
Like, if I say I close at 5 p.m., I have to close at 5. But by 4:30, guys are like, "Where are you? Can you come? Let's go. We're going to lose the table. Let's go."
Yeah.
So sometimes it's just work and personal balance. It's not as easy as you can imagine. Yeah.
No, I see it, man. Like, it's very hard. Like, because even, you look at like a Sunday, guys are out here wondering, "Why you guys don't have work on Monday?"
Imagine.
And then, like,
And like me, Sunday is my best day because after you guys go drinking, you'll come looking for food. So I have to decide, am I going to spasso or am I going to sell food and make money? Like, am I spending or am I making? So sometimes you're just like, this life is short.
Yeah.
I'll sell next Sunday. Maybe let me go. Shere.
But I think it's important to have, that balance, like you said, life, is short, precious, and should be lived. But it's important to know the balance, and to know when you're not doing too much of one or too little, of the other, And so I just wanted to ask you, do you feel like what you're doing now as Kari's Kitchen is bringing you closer to who Kari is meant to be?
Yeah, for sure. For sure, 100%. Just wanting to achieve that goal.
Yeah.
Just my ambition, my drive, knowing this is what I wanted to become. And of course, you face hiccups, bumps in the road on the way. But yeah, I'm very sure. I can say that I'm very sure.
As also, like, for me, like what I do here, like I enjoy, and probably the same purpose thing as you. And do you think there's more beauty in the journey than the destination?
Like, the destination is prettier.
You think so?
The journey is horrible. Let me tell you guys something. It's not fun.
Yeah.
It's not fun. The journey, although you learn a lot on the way, it can be a painful process, like growing pains.
Yeah.
It's because you learn this, you make a mistake here, you're like, okay, now I know that, but I didn't before, so I was making the same errors all the time. But where I'm going is what I know, like, it will be beautiful. That's what I want. That's what. Yeah. But in between.
But can I ask you something? Yeah. The craziest thing is, when you get to where you're going, you'll have another new destination.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's human nature.
Nature.
You're never satisfied. Yeah. Humans are greedy. You're never satisfied. So, yeah, you'll keep wanting more and more and more. But the key is knowing when to stop.
Yeah.
Because, you can want more because that's ambition, drive, pushing yourself to become better, to make the business better. But after some point, you have to stop. Like, it happens everywhere in sports. You reach 30 and you're like, hey, I have to slow down. So even in business, I would say that just know when is the correct time to be like, okay, this is enough. This makes sense. Maybe dive into something else, find another interest. I don't know. But know when to stop being greedy about the situation. Yeah.
Yeah. And to my next question is, what advice would you give someone young starting a business, or that wants to start a business?
Yeah. First, I don't want to sound discouraging, but don't start if you don't have the stomach for it. I hear a lot of people saying, just start. You'll be okay. You'll figure it out. Just start. But not everyone is built for this.
Yeah, it's true.
Some people are built for employment. You work 9 to 5, you get your salary every 25th, and you call it a day.
Yeah.
But there's some of us who like adversity in life, and you don't know if this month you're making 100,000 or you'll make 10,000.
Yeah, exactly.
So don't start if you can't handle it. And everyone knows themselves.
Yeah, you know yourself.
You know yourself. So if you know you can't handle the pressure of creating content, showing off your product, selling your product, working with other people who will more often than not frustrate you. It's really hard. But if you're the type of person who likes business, enjoys, knows what you want to do, you have an idea, write things down. I first conceptualized Kari's Kitchen when I was doing an internship. And I was like, I don't like this job, but I know what I like to do. But since I'm still here and I'm getting paid and everything, let me write things down, figure out what's going on in my head, make a plan, and then start. And that's what's gotten me to where I am today. So make a plan. You have to make a plan. And from there, everything will take shape. Because once you write things down, like for me, I need to sell food. That means I need packaging. I need what? So make a plan. You need packaging. Where will you get it from? Look for your suppliers. So once you write things down, you'll be fine, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And what advice would you give a woman who wants to go into business?
Stay strong.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, men are trash, but stay strong.
Wow.
Stay strong. No, actually, not to say it like that, but you'll really face tough times, especially with men. Even apart from the bodas, even my suppliers, sometimes they just take me for idiots.
Yeah.
some even clients. I don't know why some people decide they want to talk down to you just because you're providing them a service. Or unfortunately, even older men, like we're young, so even older men can decide to be very rude or aggressive or want a discount and want something else. But yeah, so you have to be very strong as a woman, know what you want in this life, know what you need to do to get it done, and just garner support from the people around you. Because women like to talk naturally. So talk to other people and hear what they have to say about the situation. They'll probably help you more than you can imagine. I can't tell you the amount of times I've been in a rut in this business and I've talked to somebody and it's been like, oh, why didn't I think of that? Yeah. So yeah, just talk to people. It gets better. I can say that. It gets better.
Yeah. And as we come to the end of this podcast, I'd like to ask my guests 2 questions. So if you had a chance to speak to the younger you, what advice would you give them?
Well, I would tell a young Roya not to rush. Yeah. There's this thing, especially in our generation, of rushing to get money, rushing to own a house, drive the best car, do all these things, go out every day of the week. So I would tell myself not to rush. Because even with selling my food, I was really rushing. At some point, I was like, I'm leaving uni. I'm going home to sell food. I don't want to be here doing books and I can be making money. But thank God I stayed. So don't rush. Don't rush things. Everything happens in its own time. It's a cliche, but it does happen in its own time.
You know, now that you've actually said that, let me actually just look for it on my phone. Okay. So one of the things I actually learned this year, and I wrote and actually posted it on my Instagram, was we have become a generation of instant gratification.
100%.
We forgot
That's
that you get instant gratification. Yeah, you know, we forgot that good things actually take time. You know,
a lot of time and effort.
You get. But because of things like technology, like even like Uber and Bolt, where you can get something within minutes, whether it's a taxi or food.
Of course.
We've forgotten that, you know, good things actually take time.
Yeah.
And the last thing I actually wrote on that statement was to remember that good things take time is you were born in 9 months and not in 1 day.
Of course.
You get?
That's deep. Yeah. I personally even think we've been conditioned into it. Because think about it, how much time do you spend on social media? Looking at what people are doing. Are they driving their parents' cars, but you think it's theirs? Things like that. They're having a good time in a different country or a different city in this country. So you're like, oh, I want that. And I think a lot of that has been brought about by even just the content on, let me go with Instagram. Remember how they started with the 1-minute videos? Then we came down to 30 seconds. Now we're at 15. So your brain is not processing things like it used to before you are relaxed. Now, if this thing doesn't load in 2 seconds, I'm moving on.
Yeah.
So we've become conditioned into it. You need things now. You need things faster. And every app is doing it. There's TikTok with the things. Instagram has Reels now. Twitter even has stories. Who would have thought Twitter would have stories? So we've been conditioned into this fast life. Like swipe up, do this, do that, just action words. And I think that has brought a lot of depression into people, just wanting things to happen now instead of, like you're saying, delayed gratification, waiting, working. Even it will be sweeter.
Yeah.
But people don't understand that.
No, it's true, man. Like we've just become you want. And because we've gotten
Exactly.
we've never, realized that.
Exactly.
You get. Yeah. And now if you had the chance to speak to the older you right now, what would you tell them?
I would say money isn't everything.
Yeah.
Money isn't everything. It's a lot. Money can make you happy, but you'll reach there and then you'll be like, and then it reaches a point where you'll be like, just relax. There's nothing major here. Of course it's important, but it's not everything.
Yeah. It's
not everything. So even in our quest to gain more money, become richer, live a nice lifestyle, it's still not everything. You have love, relationships, family. You don't want to look back on your life and be like, hey, I missed out a lot because I was chasing the bag.
Yeah.
Like, take a break. Breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And any last words for the camera, for the audience? Maybe something inspired you today that you want to share with us. Or maybe even last week, last month.
Can I think about
this is the spotlight for you. But no pressure.
No pressure. I can tell you a quote that I read recently that really inspired me.
Yeah.
I don't know who said it, but they said, you only live twice, and your second life begins when you realize you only have one.
Wow. That's powerful.
Imagine. So I read that recently and it's really stuck with me. So, basically, don't take this life for granted. It's only one. You know what you have to do. You don't want to be old, regretting, wishing you could turn the clock back. Just do what you have to do. And if people don't like it, sucks to be them.
Yeah, no, that's actually them. And at the end of the day, it's your life, But First of all, thank you so much.
Thank you
for coming on one of your busiest days to the studio.
It's okay.
It's been really nice to hear from you. I'm sure the audience has a lot to learn from you.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've learned something, so. And actually, I wish you all the best with, Kari's Kitchen. I know how hard it is to start a business.
Exactly.
And to run a business. And I know one day we'll probably have this podcast, in your restaurant, God will.
Yes, we can make that a goal. I come back here when...
Not even we can come there. Me and my
perfect.
video guy.
Yeah. You come with your mics and everything.
Yeah.
You can set up in the restaurant.
Yeah.
Give you a
That's
meal.
been a goal for the podcast as well, to have a podcast in a restaurant.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, so
we
can
do
see
that.
Yeah, we can do something.
But thank you also for having me.
Thank you so
really
much.
Nice.
Wow. And for those of you tuning in from home, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode. I hope you've learned and enjoyed the episode. Remember, just to kick it is a blessing. See you next week. Goodbye.